Welcome everybody to Two Man Power Trip, the black man starting the nerd lifestyle. I'm Nicholas, Mr. Go with the Flow,
And I'm the man with the plan, Maurice.
and we're back with another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast. What's up, co-host?
What's good, bro? What is good?
Hey man, how was your weekend? How's your week? Let's go into the week. Let's call it vibe, guys. Let's hit it.
All right, yeah. My week was chill. I didn't do too. No,
The weekend?
Yeah, the weekend. Yeah, no, nothing crazy. Had to think about it.
Had to process if you had to forget something real quick.
Yeah, right. I was like, okay, what did I do this weekend? Nah, just chilled, relaxed, took care of some errands. Finally unpacked the suitcase all the way.
Oh, okay, shit. Stuff was still hidden from before.
Oh yeah, man. I was like, am I gonna stay? Am I really gonna stay?
I mean, the way how it's funny because we're gonna talk about it later, but it looked like the homies that's out in LA is feeling that backwards weather that we was feeling out in London. Yeah, I hear it's raining.
Wow.
It's been raining the last, I think, 15 days or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I maybe Vince is around in the background trying to shift some weather again or something. Because I know every WrestleMania when it starts to rain, it was like, all right, it rained for a while and then WrestleMania popped back up later. But hey,
Flashback of the great debacle of Jersey.
yeah. Oh God. Like I said, everything was held together until everybody had to go home. So that was the perfect representation that says he was controlling the weather.
Oh man.
Yeah. But how was your work?
Annoying. Too long. It's just been all these weeks just been long.
Back to the grind and still in the bullshit weeds, eh?
Yeah, that's why the suitcase didn't go. The suitcase literally didn't get put away until today.
Well, as we talked about last week with the whole London stuff, there was a whole shift change and stuff happening to you. So in the meanwhile, I mean, it had to be what it had to be. When you came back, you was in the weeds of the shit. So it's like, I'll leave all that shit to the side, or maybe I'll just be packed and ready just in case if the bullshit hit and I'm trying to leave.
Right, man. Listen, y'all know how many times I looked at that suitcase like,
Double plot, double
Right?
I mean, I don't blame you. Shit.
Shit. I'm happy tomorrow is Friday.
Exactly. And you still have the half day?
Yes, I still have my half days.
Oh, bless. I was worried with all the shit going down. You'd have to lose that. That would be the biggest L of the whole coming back shit.
Oh, man, I ain't coming back.
Yeah.
I ain't coming back.
Shit, put me out the pasture like the rest of them.
Right?
Shit, man.
Like, I'm going back on vacation. Nah, we not doing this.
I definitely hear that. I definitely hear that. My weekend was same process, same chill, kind of recovery and makeshift. The more busyness that's gonna come with this weekend. So everything was chill. The work week. I did get a message like last Friday because they finally checked out the backlog. I was doing my physicals. I got that finished off like that. I'll go later.
Okay.
Beside that, for the most part, there's been somebody new in registration and somebody in the booth learning stuff. So we have people they're not really training with me. They're training with the other people in the other departments. So they've acclimated well and been here for the bullshit. Because like I said last week, the news of the situation happened with the shooting.
Yeah.
So they had released the video and stuff like that. I think two people got killed.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, the whole situation down. And it was a news report, and the one of the guys that got shot ran into the health center, and he got taken care of and stuff like that. So that person
That's
survived.
cool.
It was the video was wild. It was just it was legit a drive-by. Like they just pulled up, hopped out the car, started shooting at the dude, and homie took off running. He got shot one time into the rib, and then he walked into the health center, and then they got him serviced and stuff like that. So the next day, cameras and News 12 and everybody all around and interviewing and talking and shit like that.
Wow.
That was all that. And then funny enough, when that shit was going on, we got a message at the end of the day that they said somebody broke into somebody's car and was just sitting in there.
Wow.
Yeah,
what?
It was buck wild. I don't know. With News 12 and all the police around and shit like that, somebody had the balls to go into the parking lot and break into somebody's car and just sit.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, niggas was on another level. I don't know. Shit was crazy. So that shit was going down. This week was all that put together. And then today, I was like, they called what our emergency code is, code 707. But like, it was like 8:30 something in the morning, like before we even started. So we heard code 707. We was like, what the fuck happened? So I heard my supervisor slipped and fell down the stairs.
They're okay?
Yeah. They're okay. As far as I know, they got the service and stuff like that. But obviously, they left for the day. But I was like, what the fuck happened? And just the mere fact that they called 707, I was like, okay, what's the emergency? Everybody was running by the staircase and shit like that. And they said it was my supervisor. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's a wild early start to the day. And then the crazy part about it is yesterday was the surprise evaluation. So my supervisor had just given me the surprise evaluation I didn't know about, but it came up and
surprise.
Yeah, I was the first one that she called up because I'm easy, I'm light work and stuff like that. Like she said, if like every boss, if you're doing your job and you good at your job and you've been here for so long, she like your shit, you good. If I could pick 10 of you, I would like that, but. The usual. We wouldn't want to lose you, but if you gotta skadoosh, you gotta skadoosh. Shit.
Say less.
Yeah. But that's the wild part of how shit can happen so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Indeed it can.
Yeah. So that's the shift for my weekend today.
Okay, cool. Like we're at the end of the week.
Yeah.
We saw John Wick.
Yep. We're gonna talk about that in the mini reviews and stuff like that. So let's shift into off the cuff. I just wanted to talk about. So speaking of the John Wick conversation, we're going to talk about a little bit of what was discussed with Ron J from before, because he got me thinking about this, and he does have a point with this, I feel. But the off the cuff discussion I have for today is: do you think the integration into more anime is stifling American creativity on their own side when it comes to anime? And when I say that in the example of they're so in the weeds with anime now that when they send anime properties over into the West, they give us the natural theme music, the natural general music, and the openings that they didn't used to do back in the early 2000s or the 90s and stuff like that with other anime. They would change up some of the openings because they felt a more American eccentric. Like that's how we got Rock the Dragon for Dragon Z instead of what their theme in Dragon Ball out there was, and stuff shifted over. Or when we had anime movies that came over, we don't get we get the soundtrack that they have in Japan now, but there's no integration into American rock or pop or any other different kind of music that used to come along, like with some of the earlier Dragon Ball Z movies that we'd have. Like example for Cooler's Revenge or the Broly or the early Broly movie, we would have an example of different animation track. We'd get stuff from Deftone or Pearl Jam or a whole bunch of listening to the soundtracks that would be early AMVs or some shit like that would break it down, and you'd see people throwing in their whole influence into that shit. And nowadays we don't really see that. We take the natural progression from Japan over and just we have the dubs and we have some of the translations and stuff like that, but we take everything pretty much over and shift it, so we don't really upset natural fans of it. But do you feel like we're losing some integration stuff, like some of the creative openings some people have to push out, or just music that we're losing in general? Like, are we losing American ideals with shifting it over?
No, I just think that's a byproduct of anime becoming mainstream. So back then, different times, when all of that stuff originally was coming out, everything was kind of local to its own region. Yeah. So Japan stuff was in Japan. Not many people knew about it mainstream wise, unless you were specifically going to look for it, and vice versa.
And probably the vibe of it was that if it came over to the West, even though people are fans of it, how would you gravitate to people who aren't fans of it if you play this music you can't translate it over. Nobody was reading it over, so you want to change it to something more English, something people could get used to and catch it like any cartoon. Yeah,
that was the point. It was the point to make it mainstream friendly, and at that point, stuff in Japan wasn't really mainstream. It wasn't known. So they tried to make it American friendly. They did that for a lot of things, not just anime, but children's TV shows, general TV shows that they tried to bring over. They Americanized it. But now, since we're in the age of the internet and the information superhighway, blah blah blah, information and things of cultures are more accessible. So now it's like people are aware of the different cultures. People are aware of Japanese anime. They are aware how things work on that side and vice versa. So now when they bring it over, they just bring it over. It's like, hey, there it is.
Yeah, I can see that, and the more representation of fans and stuff like that. I still feel though that we can still argue that there's a commonplace that they can use certain, like a mixture of maybe some of their own creativity can still come into it. Like even as basic as like soundtracks or some kind of music that they can blend into like there's a lot of to say where we have anime in pop culture and that anime is pop culture. So at the same time, you can blend the sort of music, go in and out to add on.
No, I get your point, and I think back then it was a necessity because at the end of the day, it's dollars and cents. Yeah. So it was a necessity to Americanize those properties. Now it's more of an option. You can still do it if you want to have creative license with a property or something like that. That's fine, but now it's not a necessity.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the optional choice and stuff like that. We'll see, with movies and stuff going forward if they want to meld, because it's a perfect blend that they can start, mixing, having stuff here and there.
And I think they'll probably just use it as a differentiator going forward. Like say if they want to make something stand out, then they might do something like that. Or
we have so many people that are into the culture that wants the collaboration with the culture that I wouldn't be surprised if somebody wanted to, like, there's so many people that put like that rap over this or put into this, and I feel like it's such easy marketing for somebody to be like, I'm attached to this movie, and especially with it becoming that main, like boom. It's if you rap and you talk of anime all this time, they have like shoe collection and clothing. The clothing line is the big collaboration that we see anime running amok. So I'm not surprised the music industry wouldn't just hop on this one way or another.
Yeah, the right anime comes along for that, and I could definitely see that type of collaboration happening.
Yeah, especially like a movie wise.
Yeah,
that's right there with the off the cuff discussion. So we had talked on that, so that fit that out, and now we could shift in more nerd and reboot news. So kicking off nerd and reboot news this week, we just had gone through the era now. Last week finished up, so we have just seen the end of Boruto for now. Boruto Part 1. Boruto's now on a heavy hiatus for whenever it comes back with Part 2. And then the Pokemon series has finally retired and hung up Ash's jersey. So Ash is out of the running for Pokemon now. The episode finished out. Generally, if you watch the final 11 episodes, it gives you the vibe of like Season 1 Pokemon again. And now that has run its course, it's on to the next, I think it's Pokemon Horizons, and that will have its new protagonists and stuff like that. But Ash is finally retired, y'all.
Listen, Ash had a good run.
Yep, long run. 25 years, long fucking run.
Yeah.
But homie hung up his jersey, and that's a nice and good time, man. He gonna be surely missed, but I mean, it's time to move on.
Listen, son had Pokemon battles. Son threw hands with Pokemon. He wasn't nothing much left for him to do.
Yeah, we're gonna always remember them highlights and the long journeys and everybody's memories of Ash and Satoshi that he got, and I mean, big up, blessed to Ash, man.
Yeah.
Shit, it's just like that. It's examples like that too. Just the switching of the names and stuff like that to be more, because I mean, he's a Satoshi in Japan. When you watching the subs and stuff like that, you see the names pop up and stuff like that. It's always funny because I mean, we know him as Ash, so it's like, bam.
Yep, there you go right there.
He's a living change of the generation as well.
Yep.
So beside that, we're gonna do a quick. So how'd you feel about John Wick 4?
Listen, I enjoyed John Wick 4.
Oh yeah, for it to be a long ass runtime and us going late into the movie, to keep that action going and going strong for almost 3 hours is definitely a say something. Because I mean, look at that compared to when we saw Shazam the week before.
You mean that nap that I took?
Exactly. He was falling and rolling and knocking all over each other. But John Wick had us up,
yep.
Waking, laughing, a whole bunch of action and shit like that. It was great.
Yeah, it really was. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, shout outs to that. And also, on top of that, I can finally give my review of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh, Lord.
Because me and Kenya has watched it. And boy, that was a hot mess. Man, if that person is trying to make more Disney classic and shit like that,
stop.
Boy, yeah, I'ma just say, if that's your start, boy, it's an ugly start. Like at first, when the movie opened up, it was like, all right, maybe you got some camera work. But when the movie started going on, it was like, bruh, where'd you get these people? Where'd you get these actors? This college mess that's going on. The gratuity and gore going off. the nudity was random as hell at times. Like
Wow.
it was like there was so much going on. The story I see where they was trying to run with the story because they didn't want these creatures to talk too much and stuff like that. So the story was like so Christopher Robin left them for like a long time and they started getting hungry, but they band together and there was like five of they didn't even use all the creatures in the 100. They just used about 5 of them, and then they got hungry, so they ganged up on Eeyore and ate him. And then
What?
then they made a pact after I think it was they only showed 2 out of the 4 people and they never alluded to the other 2 members, so it confused the hell out of me. But so from the dark images they showed, because they didn't even show them out in full, it was Piglet, Eeyore, and what we suspected was Tigger and the rabbit and Eeyore. But then they ate Eeyore, so the 4 of them was there, and they was like, so they ate Eeyore, and they band together, and they decided never to talk again. So every time they pop up, they're just like mysterious, weird creatures that are just morphed, and they attack people at random. Like they catch Christopher Robin early in the movie and stuff like that, and they just decide to wreak havoc and shit like that, like no reason. Just a whole bunch of shit go down. It's gory, messy, it's random. It's like we was watching it for a few minutes, and not only were we starting to get confused by some of the actions of people, because dumb horror movie and dumb stupid people, but also it gives you Michael Myers vibe. Pooh's just basically Michael Myers, and I'm talking about Michael Myers from like Halloween Kills.
Oh wow.
He got a Super Cena boost at one point.
Yo.
They was wilding and they was doing some shit and he got a Super Cena boost.
Yeah, it sounds like they were wilding because yo.
Yeah, that was a mess. We tried to look for the mean one online, and we tried to watch that, but all of the ones that they have is still in. I guess nobody turned it into HD, or it didn't come out on streaming sites yet, because all of that shit looked like it was recorded on a microwave.
Wow. Microwave.
So all of them shits look extra crappy. So we'll be continually waiting to see if the mean one ever comes online in HD version, so we can actually watch it and give our crap review, because all of these are gonna
crap review.
Listen, bro. At this point, all of these horror like crap stuff, like this is what happens. A lot of people complain about Disney and what happens when their stuff becomes like out into when they lose the rights for their shit. Like I guess with Pinocchio, when it went out into the rights fees and stuff like that, we have good versions like Guillermo del Toro that he did his shit on Netflix, and then we have bad versions when stuff becomes into public domains where people could just make horror versions of all this bullshit, and then we get crappy shows and crappy movies like that. So there's that situation. So we got the mean one, we got Bambi, we got Peter Pan, and whatever the fuck this nigga want to come up with next. Especially the mere fact that he's trying to do a sequel to that Winnie the Pooh shit too.
So me, you, and the captain still watching the mean one? You still gonna make that happen at some point?
Yeah, that's once it hits online. I can watch it on HD and review it just like I did the crappy Blood and Honey.
Yeah.
Hey, that one, Bambi, Peter Pan, we doing all of them.
All right then, yo. All right then.
Nobody else doing them, so.
Nobody else
so
doing
there you go.
Okay.
So there you go. So all right. So away from that, we had Anime Event 2023. So what had happened with Anime Japan 2023? It happened last week, and they made a whole bunch of announcements about a whole bunch of shit coming out down the line. Mm-hmm. We have so let me tell you about a couple of stuff they got coming up. So I think it's a classic it's a classic manga turned anime. This movie Pluto or series that's coming to Netflix. Mm-hmm. That's a big one. Some's talking about another Ghost in the Shell movie's coming. ReZero's having its season 3. They announced My Hero Academia season 7.
Okay.
Trigun Stampede is in their final phase, aka like season 2.
Okay.
They talked about Blue Lock. Everybody's watching. The soccer anime that's coming back with season 2 in a movie. Spy X Family is coming out with season 2 in October and a movie coming out. Jobless Reincarnation season 2 dropping. An anime I was watching called High Card is dropping in season 2. Digimon Adventure, the reboot that they had coming out with like the nice animation show like that. They're having another movie.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
Jujutsu Kaisen showed its trailer for season 2. That's coming out in July. What else? The month of Invisible. Sailor Moon's having a new movie.
A word?
Yep.
Let's go.
That one, Seven Deadly Sins, Four Nights of the Apocalypse, premiering in October. The Devil is a Part-Timer. We're going to have season 3 dropping in July.
Woo woo.
Yep. What else? Goblin Slayer finally coming back. That's coming back, I think, for the fall season. They dropped early images for Dr. Stone. That's dropping the spring season. So that's dropping, I think, next week. So they rocking with that. The current season of Yu-Gi-Oh! About to pump in they second year. They going with they haven't changed up the season. That one's gotten season 2, so they continue that. Okay. That's still rocking. Another shonen anime series, Undead Unluck, got an October premiere coming out. We getting Martial Magic and Muscle. That's another shonen jump manga that's dropping. I think either sometime next week, but it's definitely coming out in the spring season. Sure. So that's coming soon. They talking more about Attack on Titan, but that's still dropping in fall. So whoever saw the special now, that shit's dropping. And then they got Dragon Ball news. They still dropping a web series that's supposed to come out sometime soon in the summer. So it was a shit ton of news that dropped on us sometime in the weekend. It was a bunch of trailers. It was a bunch of announcements, but no like specific dates. So that's kind of what's rocking with Anime Japan right now.
Okay, no, that's what's up. Lots of good news, lots of good stuff.
So a lot of stuff going on with that. Next on the docket, we got the TikTok situation. So have you been following that shit that was happening in Washington with them trying to ban TikTok and the whole mess of that?
Nah, fill me in.
So apparently the government has been coming together and they have been complaining that TikTok is stealing the information and secretly, hiding it off to the Chinese and stuff.
Oh yeah, okay.
So they had a whole bunch of young TikTokers go off to the legislature and try to talk to them. It got shit hit the fan when the CEO of TikTok showed up, and that nigga never showed up. That was the first time we ever saw Homie, and Homie was pleading his case, talking a whole bunch of shit. And then you know what happens when old people are in the room talking to people about technology that they had no business talking to people. You know about it all day. It's your job.
Yeah.
So a whole bunch of people was ganging up on Homie, talking all this XYZ bullshit, talking about they was blaming TikTok specifically for shit that's happening through all the social media sites, but they specifically want to tag they specifically want to tank TikTok, which prompted all the memes. A whole bunch of people was recreating the situation on TikTok in general. Everybody was talking about how Zuckerberg was handing them the money on the low about this whole situation. So I don't know.
Be surprised.
Exactly. So TikTok, I don't know what's the full-on decision or what's moving forward with what they're deciding on TikTok. It was looking a bit shiesty. A lot of people was talking about like TikTok might be banned or taken out and shit like that because it looks like they had their preconceived notions and their nose up in the cloud about a whole bunch of stuff that TikTok, even though Homie was pleading his case, talking his mercies and shit like that, and them old people was trying to hit him with the most basic of bullshit.
Listen, if we see Meta come out with Ring Ding, we know what's up.
Oh, listen. It wouldn't be the first time Zuckerberg on his Vince buying WCW shit where he buy all his competition for sure.
Right.
I mean, that's how Instagram happened.
Don't let Elon get a hold of it.
I don't know. Please. Even though Twitter's always going through its shit, but I have not heard shit on what Elon is tampering with anything as of late, or nobody's making a big hubbub about it so far. So I don't know.
Right. Let's hope it stay that way. Let's hope the Musk does not funk up again.
Facts. Speaking of all that shit, you heard that they about to. I don't know if it happened already, but they about to snatch up Trump.
Oh, word?
Yeah. They was surrounding his home and stuff like that, getting him on charges and shit like that. Finally hit.
Oh shoot, he might be in there with PPP Red.
Oh, there you go. Shit. Nah. Didn't we find out PPP Red out on bail or some shit like that? He was definitely free doing shit unless they had a time dock on him.
Oh shit.
I seen him. He was out and about, and I was like, okay, the news already dropped. So if you're not in, then you on house or you out and about or some shit.
Sure, they wasn't taking footage of Steve again.
I don't know. know, man. I don't know. They was like, is he out running amok? I mean, the whole situation kept him out of the reunion, obviously. But I mean, I don't know. Steve probably, you know, flew them an extra couple dollars to talk about, like, you know, keep him in there. Let me get the star treatment for a while.
Nah, Steve got on set and he's talking about, I thought you was in jail.
What you mean me? It ain't me. It ain't me.
Oh, man.
Come on, you know what it is. You know you love your boy Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so next on the nerd docket. So this is definitely reboot news, because did you hear Questlove is doing the Aristocats reboot?
Wow. That came out of left field.
Yeah, but off the energy of his Summer of Soul movie and stuff like that, he's coming in with the casting and doing the music and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I'm interested. It's definitely an interesting sort of take. It's Aristocats, so I mean they can talk about a bunch of stuff. Aristocats has its history of showing off, you know, great jazz music and stuff that's not so great with the Asian community and them damn cats. So, I mean, Questlove can talk about a bunch of stuff, can put a lot of new musicians on and stuff like that. So, I mean, having a guy that knows music so well do a musical Disney kind of
makes
movie,
sense.
Yeah, it's on the up and up, and you know he gonna make it diverse as hell. So that's
what's up.
So, on the docket, we gonna talk about. So this weekend is Mania weekend, and a lot of our friends have traveled off to LA to enjoy what the hell kind of weather they going on right now. But as we speak, they probably getting ready for Wale Mania. I want to see all the pictures and videos and all the wildness. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow morning to hear all the news of everybody acting buck wild.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know it happens every year. You know it happens. You love to see it. You love to hear people getting into a whole bunch of fun mess and all that stuff. It's a special kind of weekend for us wrestling fans and stuff like that to enjoy, whether you dare or not, or vibing out. It's the energy in the air. So we want to put the blessings out on everybody enjoying Mania weekend. Enjoy. We got lots to see and all that other shit. So big ups on that. A whole bunch of shows going down. Whole bunch of shit to catch up on. Whole bunch of shit just in general.
Yeah, I know everybody just going out to Cali is gonna have a good time.
Yeah, be like us. Fuck the weather and enjoy yourself.
Exactly. That's exactly how you gotta do it. Like, listen, the weather's gonna do what the weather's gonna do. You can't control that.
Yeah, that's the mood. I was talking to the big man Mars yesterday, and I was giving him the play-by-play of all that shit. I was giving him the run through before the episode even dropped. I was telling him our debacle with the racist people, and I was telling him about the speedboat. I was showing him, I showed him your video about by the boat. He was like, "You brave as fuck to be balancing on that shit." He was like, "I would have been praying to God."
What would you mean?
He said you brave as fuck for all that balancing and shit with your phone and shit.
Listen.
He said you was on the extra shit. I was like, that's a work phone with the extra grip that he can afford to lose. Me in the corner scared holding on to my shit, making 15-second videos. That's a different level.
It's a carpe diem, man.
Yeah, he definitely saw that full out. I was giving him the breakdown of all the adventures and shit like that, and he was definitely saying, he was like, y'all was enjoying yourselves for sure. Big shout outs.
Oh yeah, we had so much fun.
Yeah, definitely. So like we extend that out to everybody who traveling. If it's your first time in LA, enjoy yourself. I saw Wilkins hitting up the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Shout outs. You always gotta hit up the Roscoe's. You always gotta be up in there. He got the right food. He asked for the Obama special. When you always at Roscoe's, ask for the Obama special. It's always hit that big waffle. You taste something like you never tasted before. It's always good. Co-host, have you been to Cali before?
No, I actually have not been to Cali.
That's crazy. See, that's the living that's been in my life and shit like that. I have family out in Cali, and then with Elijah living in Cali, it's been my excuse. So I've been to California like 8-9 times. So like hearing people ain't been to Cali is kind of weird to me. I don't know. I mean, not everybody's can do like 6-hour travels and shit like that and time basis and whatnot. But nonetheless, it's like Cali's a second home to me. So that's why when I hear people ain't been to Cali before, I'll be like, shit, damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But like, blessings on everybody going out there. Enjoy yourself. Cali, away from popular debates that people say Cali don't got the good foods out here. This foodie will tell you, Cali got the eats, man. Cali, you can find a spot. Cali got the eats. You can find good Hawaiian food. They fill up the fucking, if you go to the right Chinese spot, bro, they fill up that bitch to the bone.
That's what's up.
You'll see that they will staple. It goes so bad that they try to close that shit down and staple that bitch, yo. That's the the kind of people you want filling your plate.
Yeah,
Fill
exactly.
Fill the plate.
If I'm out there, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Oh yeah. We'll give y'all. If y'all need to know where to go, you know your boy will let you know. The hibachi spot on the roads and shit like that, like bro, like listen, a nigga know.
Man, that's what's up.
So that's good. Blessings to all in the mini weekend. Today we just got this news. It's a couple of news that dropped to us. So we just got the announcement E3 got canceled.
Oh shit.
So a couple of months ago, they had announced that all the major players, like the Sony, Microsoft, all them niggas, they decided not to do a showcase. They decided because of the pandemic, all those years, they decided doing shit on their own. So that's basically what happened. They did shit on their own for so long that they was like, all right, we got our own showcase. So why the fuck are we doing E3 again? And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, at this point,
they said fuck the E3 and all they was gonna have was indie games, but they wasn't pulling people. So they decided, what's sad about this one is they decided not only the physical E3 is gone, but the digital E3 is gone. That means everything went bad.
Yeah, because you think about it, compared, all the big players got their own showcase. Only thing you would have there is the smaller players, which is fine, but indies. You don't need E3 for that.
Yeah, so that's what and then also on top of that, when you think about it, when they do the showcase, they show off all the indie games anyways. So
yeah.
E3 ain't got a leg to stand on. So we really saw, and like the pandemic was the end of the era. Like with everything switching over to digital and everybody doing their own shit, that legit killed E3. So all those people that was wishing back in the day, like E3 was on your shit or Comic-Con was on your shit and shit like that, like the end of an era, E3 is probably donezo.
Yeah.
If they ain't bouncing back, like this was their big thing to bounce back from after the pandemic and shit like that, and they not bouncing back. That's it. E3 is a bygone product now.
Yeah, I don't see how they would bounce back.
Yes, I mean, they had all the momentum. People wanted to go to E3. It's just they lost out on everything, and niggas don't want to come back, and they already getting their shit showcased somewhere else. So it's like, there's no point in you. You're obsolete.
Yeah, it was like the way things are now, with everybody having their own showcases at different times, people releasing things at different times, to push the digital and doing it that way. It's like E3's biggest advantage that they had before was like, oh, you are only seeing this stuff here. You know, it happens this time of year. All that stuff went away.
Yeah,
and it's just been going away over time.
That was a big part of the summer between that and San Diego Comic-Con. That was the big time for like all the secret exclusives and shit like that. And I'm a miss that kind of summer hype, but we haven't had that in a long while thanks to the pandemic and shit. So it's like, even though you might miss it, it's been gone for a while long enough for you to just cancel it. So damn, that's a damn shame, but oh well.
Yeah, it was more for that hands-on thing. Like, for people like to get the previews, to play the hands-on like I said, now we have betas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In this digital era, it's like a lot of things that made E3 special are not, or I should say, are available via different outlets now. So like I said, you got companies that used to just bring a set up there and have testing that people could try so the press could see it, blah, blah, blah. Now they're just like, here's the beta.
Pretty much. And they could work on their own time. They don't got to be bogged down to the summer E3 schedule where, you know, a lot of games was announced and it was like, this is what we got. Like, now they can work longer and be like, all right, now when we ready to do this actual showcase, we have actual shit. We can send it to you instead of like being held down by this summer schedule.
Yeah, like now they just sending press review copies like, yo, here.
Pretty much, yeah. So, away from RIP to E3, we also got the big-ass announcement, and this is for fans of a certain medium and stuff like that. So, like, I want to say about 12 years ago, around, like, 2011 and stuff like that, there was a movie that came out based on a comic that was one of, like, the best live-action adaptations to a comic that was kind of ever done, and it was, like, a more indie comic and stuff like that. So, this was an announcement of today that it came full circle, which I was always interested about shit like this. So we had something that went from comic book to live action that was so beloved that it finally goes from live action now back to an animated properties. And I'm talking about Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Scott Pilgrim has been announced for Netflix for an anime, and the rare fact that everybody that was in the movie that played characters are all coming back to voice the characters in the animated properties. And I'm talking about major names. I'm talking about like Anna Kendrick, Kendrick, Chris Evans, Michael Cera. Like, we talk about the big, like, when they was doing that stuff, they, like, Chris Evans wasn't Captain America yet. This is years after, like, Captain America and Endgame and shit like that. He coming back to voice the same characters. Like, they got everybody. They got the original director that worked on the movie. They got they got a fire ass animation studio that I'm hearing all through Twitter that said they're like they put out only fire content. They got the person who writ the story, Brian O'Malley. He's on the shit. Like, everything is working for it. Talk about a big boost for Netflix. Netflix is getting this shit, and Scott Pilgrim was always a super cult classic. But for them to get exclusive rights on this Netflix anime for this that's big enough. Big flex. They dropped this news, and it was big flex.
Listen, you knew Netflix was going to clap back at some point, so
about time. And I want to talk about this because animation was down bad last year. Animation, yo, and I'm talking about the West specifically. They looking up. They saw the anime news and all the shit starting to bless up, and they saw all the shit that HBO Max was fumbling the bag and shit like that. I want to talk about the next shows that are about to spread out, and their wings is going wild and crazy. So we talked about before how after we lost Kevin Conroy to Batman and everything, how they're still doing the Cape Crusaders, which is a follow-up from the Batman animated series back in the day and stuff like that. So we had talked before, and I don't know if we officially said that that the Amazon had picked up their rights, so that's still going through on Amazon. So Amazon's gonna exclusively get that Batman show to run forward. They're gonna have a hard time figuring out what they're gonna do with the Kevin situation going forward, and that's gonna be a hurdle that they're gonna have to walk through, but they'll have to figure out that all in general.
Yep.
So that's with that. And then also they had a new Superman show that a lot of people worked on that they didn't know was up in the air for a while what was gonna happen. Well, big bless, and I didn't know, yo, this is gonna be crazy thing, but big boost to Toonami because they just got the rights to that Superman show. So Superman is gonna be on Toonami with Dragon Ball Z. Catch Goku and Superman going back to back.
Like, hey, Clark, it's me, Goku.
Facts. Big flex. And then, not only that, Toonami big flexing again. So in May, we're getting a show called Unicorn Warriors Eternal, and it's another show based off Gendy Tartakovsky. And if you know his work, that's the work of Samurai Jack. That's the work of Symbionic Titans. That's the work of Primal. When that man puts pen to paper and he is unleashed, my son makes nothing but quality. He is one of the best out here in Western animation for a long time. He gave us shit. He's the one who animated original Pop-Up Girls. So all the hands that was showing, all the shit that was getting wrecked, that was Gendy. Dexter's Lab, early edition, that was Gendy. Like, Gendy on top of his P's and Q's. If you seen Primal, you know my son could get wild with it. If you seen Samurai Jack when it had the return, it got wild with it. If you watch Symbionic Titans, this new show that they got, if you watch the trailer, it's looking like the spiritual successor and stuff like that. But Gendy is out here with his creative mind showing that, yo, the West, I know they coming out with the reboot ideas and they working with X, Y, and Z and all that shit. If you got people like Gendy on your side, you getting the original fire-ass content. The shit look great. And it's big ups, and that shit's dropping early May in Toonami. So shout outs to Unicorn Warriors Eternal. So once that shit gets popping, because once that drops, I think it's gonna be on HBO Max the next day. Once it start picking up some episodes, I definitely want to review on that shit because that shit gonna be fire.
Yeah.
Yep. So away from that, Pixar had dropped their trailer. I don't know. Have you seen the trailer for that movie Elemental that's dropping in the summer?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I've seen little bits and clips of it online, but I haven't seen the whole trailer.
So Elemental, ideally what it's looking like, I mean, you know how Pixar does when they get creative in the mind and they in worlds and stuff like that. It's basically it's like an idea of a romance movie between literal fire and water, because the elements is all through that show from earth and air and all that stuff, and they're living in a community and stuff like that, and the creative minds of what they want to meld together. But the idea of the movie movie that I seen on Twitter come from the director. It said it came from his own family biases, where he married outside of his race and stuff like that, where his family was kind of shunning him for marrying somebody that's not of Korean descent and stuff like that. And I was like, when I saw that, and you see the trailer, put two and two together, because you got like racist ass grandmas and shit like that in the shit, like just being out and open and shit like that. I'm super interested in to see how this goes, and it looks like a more creative take than that one movie that just came out recently on Netflix called You People with Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill and stuff like that. That was like a mixed bag to people and stuff like that. So I'm more interested to see what they do with this one for sure.
Yeah, for real. It's gonna be interesting to see how they go down.
Definitely. And the last nerd news that I have on the docket, which kind of goes along with what we was talking about with E3 and what you was talking about with beta. So there's been a lot of trailers dropping about Tekken 8 this week. So Tekken 8 is in their bag. Tekken 8 was this week was their week to shine on showing some character trailers, showing the move sets and different stuff like intro animations and stuff like that. Everything looking fucking clean. Shit looking beautiful. All the updated shit that they given looks fire. They had legit like fighting game YouTubers all come up and test run some of the betas and this shit that they have running so far. So shit's looking nice. They just dropped the secret logo of Evo coming out this year, and it looks beautiful because for the first time in a long time, we have like a new Street Fighter coming. Mortal Kombat's about to come out. Like Ed Boon's been talking about information on MK12 about to drop soon. Tekken's dropping. Like this is officially the new era, and everybody's trying to cop the new generation of fighting games because everything's about to hit the PS5, and it's a beautiful time to see. The logo had everybody from Street Fighter, King of Fighters, Tekken, all the OGs coming together because it's their time to shine and they coming back, and it's fire.
Tekken Bloodline got me re-interested in Tekken.
Exactly. So, and Tekken is my birthright. It came out right around my birthday, officially around in 1994, and it's always something that I've been attached to as a youngin. Boys and Girls Club. I used to hate my time in the Boys and Girls Club, but the only time I have fond memories of the Boys and Girls Club is playing Tekken 3 and beating 20 people in a row.
That's what's up.
I was a fucking monster. They was torturing me in that bitch, so I had to come correct, and I beat their ass.
We got to talk about that outside the podcast. Oh man,
I'm gonna be straight honest. I had a terrible time in the Boys and Girls Club. That's why I don't stand for that shit. But that's a personal thing. But that's another time for another talk and another time. But yeah, man, the Tekken's always been a blood and born birthright and stuff like that. And I miss playing Tekken. I got my PS5 and stuff like that. So it's once that shit drop, I'm back on it.
That was one of the first games I got when I first got my PlayStation, along with Ridge Racer.
So there you go, man. People got fond, good memories, and people always trying to besmirch Tekken's name, but I ain't gonna stand for it. Tekken is always there. Tekken is always a bless, and I followed the storyline like a motherfucker, man. I know my ins and outs with these characters. I love. That's the only game that I can tell you about pretty much all the motherfucking characters and all the motherfucking shit that's going on. That's mad weird.
Yeah, man. Back from Tekken one day, yo, F you at Shimizu, yo.
Yep,
still got unfinished beef with that.
Yep. Oh no, I believe it. There's a lot of shit that's going on with a lot of shit in them damn games. But yeah, so that close up nerd and reboot news, and we shifting off. It's time for the main event segment. The main event segment going down today. We down with BMP. We doing Black Morpher Power, and we doing a subgenre. We still doing Sentai like Power Ranger like shows and stuff like that. And this week we doing the what people I see it online where people argue is definitely bottom tier, the worst of the worst. They say the issues all coming around for it, but we gonna review it for ourselves. This week we are doing Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Yep, we are doing these Beverly Hills motherfuckers. We I mean, it's a perfect time because we talking about the homies in Cali.
Exactly.
So there you go. So we can kick into it. So I got some history that we can talk about. So let's kick into it. So this is an American children TV series, Ranger Adjacent, produced by Dick Entertainment, aired on USA Cartoon Express. Plus under the superhero genre. This show, and you wouldn't believe it, had 40 episodes, and they stretched this 40 episodes so they could go with that motherfucker. Most people know this as a joke. This show got popularized recently thanks to a parody they got because Team 4-Star, which they're famous for their parody on Dragon Ball Z, they made a joke during one of their, I think it was during the Namek saga, where Vegeta was fighting the Ginyu Force, and they were making jokes about them being a Sentai, and he was going through the different names, and the last one that he went through was Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills, and people jokingly, they was like, that's a thing, and people started to Google all around to find out this was an actual thing. So a lot of people,
very much so.
Yeah, people started following up on that on recent history and stuff like that. So this ran from October of '94 till April of '95, and the synopsis of it basically is: teens from Beverly Hills are choosing to take on an evil threat, given tattoo-based power transformation, and that is as basic as we're gonna give you before we run into the subject. So any side notes you got, co-host?
Not on this one, bro. Woo.
All right, so let's get into it. Episode 1 in the beginning.
All right, so the episode start. We see some Masked Rider like planet, and we get our intro to Emperor Gorganis.
Oh, hold on. We going. On yours, did you get the opening at first?
Okay, yeah. That's what I said. Let me take it back for a second.
Talk about the tattoo teenage alien fighters.
Listen, this song has been in my head for the last couple of days.
Yo,
it won't go away.
Shout outs to the captain. Shout outs to Kenya, because I'm gonna say this. I torture her with this all the time. I make it stuck into her head so much. We personally have run through 23 episodes of the show just cause the damn earworm, and it's just so bad that you just keep on fucking watching this mess. And bruh, like it's so funny. I like every time I want to antagonize her, I just be in the corner like tattoo teenage alien fighters. The tattoo teenage alien fighters from Beverly. One thing, this is what I keep saying about the 90s and their creativity when it comes to these openings, because they will show you the world's most trashy show in the world, but they will hit you with the earworm that will continually bug your head.
Listen, they made this show with this long ass title and this theme that slap.
That ass. Man, you can have the trashiest thing in the world, but if your opening hit, you will be remembered through the zeitgeist, man.
As I was watching this, and I'm like, what in the blue hell is going on here? And once I saw them transform, it came back like it was yesterday. I was like, oh snap, that's what this is.
Listen, bro, this is what happened. This is what happened when Saban, because I will straight to the bone. If they ever greenlit anything Saban did and they had no Japanese footage, this is exactly how it would have turned out.
Listen, if you ordered Power Rangers on Wish, this is it.
I don't even think it. Is there something lower than Wish?
No.
No, this is
the Wish version of Wish, and if you wanted Power Rangers, this is it.
This is Power Rangers on Ish, not Wish. This is Ish. Power Rangers on Ish.
Oh man.
Wish too good. You wish you could find Masked Rider.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I did watch this in this original run. I was like,
Nick, did you watch this while it was on TV?
Yes. That's why when I saw the transformation, it came back. I was like, oh my goodness.
That's funny. That is funny. But all right, so away from that fire ass thing, we got to get back into this mess.
Yeah, like I said, we got our generic Mars looking planet that they use for many shows.
Stock footage.
Right, and then we get our intro to Emperor Gorganis, even though they call him Gorganis in the theme song.
Listen.
I'm like, listen.
Listen, I went back and forth with a whole bunch of shit going on. Especially, let's talk about the dubbing. What the fuck they doing with the man's voice and his head movements and shit like that is funny.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a Lord Zid situation.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
They are saying shit, and this nigga's head movements doing 360 different. And that's the opening to the show. We are starting off with this shit.
Yeah, yo, bro. Like I said, so we got to intro the Lord Gorganis and Lechner, his bird, parrot, pet, whatever that thing was.
Okay, stop right there. That motherfucker reminds me of remember when they do the live action? I don't know if you've seen this. Remember when they do SpongeBob and they do the live action with Patchy the Pirate and he has his bird to his side? That's exactly what the fuck it looked like. It looked like his parrot.
Oh, no. That's crazy.
That's where they dug that nigga up from.
Right, so at this point, we get our intro to Gorganis. He's getting some map from one of his henchmen.
Yep.
And then we find out he's looking at this. He's looking at the info on this little glass tablet that he got thing there. He's like, good. I will pay you handsomely. Oh, wait. Oh, Nimble's still alive?
Fuck out of here.
He's like, no, forget all what I just said. You did.
He said, he banished that nigga for 40 years of punishment and banishment. I was like, damn.
Yeah, and then he's telling us all about his plan, how he want to control all of the portals. Yep. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to get the Earth. And then Lechner's like, oh, you're going to blow it up, you're going to destroy it. He's like, no, go ahead.
No, because you know how it always goes, yo. Is if they always looking for a motherfucker, they always come to Earth. They always come to fucking Earth.
Yeah, and so he tells Lechner, he's like, no, I'm not gonna blow it up. He's like, this is a portal point. I need this. I'm just gonna conquer the planet. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna send down this monster. So he sends down this mechanical ninja
bot.
And
he starts doing samurai things in the abandoned wasteland.
Listen, this was so damn cheesy, and you could tell right here how cheap this. They had no budget, bro. He
started doing some samurai. He was starting to do some blatant shit. He started doing rolls and swings and chops and shit like that. This looks like the OD bootleg version of the wasteland that Goku and Vegeta was fighting in.
Listen, Son lit a telephone pole on fire with his sword. Son sliced a rock. No, we did not see nothing with the slice. He knocked the rock over.
Ninja.
Didn't slice the rock. No, he swiped at the rock and then just pushed the rock over.
Ninja.
Yo, bro.
Also, I'm pretty sure they don't know the distinction between ninja and samurai anyway. But nonetheless.
Oh yeah, no, they don't know nothing.
Nope.
So as you're watching this, I'm just like, and the way dude was moving, and I'm just like,
And these are the villains. We ain't even getting to the people yet.
Yeah, these villains were something else, bro. And so at that point,
we go off to Beverly Hills.
Yeah, we're in Beverly Hills. So we see some.
See a dad talking to his son.
Yeah, so this
other students.
Yeah, so we get our intro to Swinton.
Yep, Swinton and his father.
Yeah, and he's telling Swinton, Pops is getting on him because he's like, he got a call from the school, and
basically the dad was like, "Boy, you're weird.
Yeah,
you're smart, but you're weird. You need some friends."
Yeah, they're like, yo. Pops was like, listen, I talked to your physics teacher. He's like, he said you refused to do an assignment. Swinton was like, nah, I didn't refuse to do an assignment. I just refused to work with others. And Pops is just giving him the lecture like, yo, bro, you're gonna need to work with people.
He said, I'm skipping class for all that shit. I don't want to make sure no.
And then his pops was like, listen, if you don't eventually learn to work with people, you're gonna be like old boy here that this photographer that sent me these pictures.
Let's fucking talk about this photographer. What the fuck? What in the Peter Parker is going on? My son got them detail ass photos like he was up in the ninja bot's face. Like, what is the size of this motherfucker? Like, what's going on?
Listen, the size. Listen, that's a thing in and of itself on this thing too. But yeah, they showed the ninja man. Hey, yo, the picture that they showed of him, yo, oh my goodness.
I was like,
yeah.
I'm like, how you get
no budget, yo. This is so bad. It's comical because
100%. That's why this is so bad. It's good tier. I swear.
Yo, and like, yo, Pops is like, yo, we don't think this is legit. He's like, I'm gonna fact check it, of course, but he's like, yo, you keep acting like this in your solitude, you gonna wind up like old boy taking these pictures. Yeah. They're like, we about to.
I mean, nigga got a job though.
They like, son, listen, we about to call the White Jackets on homie, so yeah.
Shit, must be. So then we get our introduction to the other members of the squad.
Yes. Our core four.
Yeah, Gordon, Lori, and Drew.
Yeah.
He get paired up with them.
Yep. He's like, oh, I don't like this, but hey, Deal with it, Swinton.
Pretty much. So the group decided to meet at whose house was it? Was it
Was this Swinton's house? Let me think.
Or was it? It was either Swinton's or Gordon.
I'm gonna say this is Swinton's house.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So when they meet up at that house, we get to see their personalities.
Yeah.
So we see Gordon is a rich douche. He gives off rich douche energy for sure. Lori is the popular girl, secretly like smart and head of all this stuff, but she acts like an airhead. And Drew is the free spirit, not wanna be just like the other girls. Yeah. She ain't messing with him. And Swinton is obviously the smart one.
Yo, listen, so Swinton came in with his project. He asked somebody to give him a hand, so nobody lifted a finger to help. Oh boy.
Nope.
So then he brings in this complicated machine.
Yep.
Right. And so at this point, Swinton is putting together, telling them what's going on, and tell what's going on. Basically, what it's supposed to do is...
I was just about to ask, what exactly was the main mission of that item?
It was supposed to detect levels of nicotine in the air.
Oh, that is so 90s. That is so 90s. Make something to follow up on smoking.
So then, of course, Gordon, he goes and touch stuff. Spill something in it, and then next thing we got a portal open.
Listen, the correlation to one to the other is wild.
Right, and so they all, Drew listen, I smell an egg.
I see an opening transporter dimension, nigga. We gonna get more than an egg.
Excuse me, that was Gordon. Drew is the one that pulled up to the portal, like touching the thing. And so it's like
I literally wrote down white people be wildin'. First thing they just want to touch shit. Like, bro, no.
And then of course Drew was like, yeah, we should explore this thing. And then Drew just go ahead and jump through the portal.
All right, Scooby Doo's.
Right. So of course Swinton, he goes after it. Somebody he's got to check it out. So Swinton goes in there.
One by one.
Gordon about to dip. Lori was like, we should go after them. So Lori then jumps in, and then
we get our portal scenes.
And then we got this scream from Gordon with this cheap sound effects. I don't understand. So was yelling the whole way through.
Yep. He was hollering.
Yeah, and then so we got to this place with this whole bunch of smoke.
Welcome to a command-looking center from Ish.
Oh yes.
This is the command center from Ish.
And then we get our intro to this big, ugly-looking, slimy blob, Nimbar.
Welcome to Nimbar, everybody. Nimbar, the nastiest-looking Zordon you could ever see in your life. You think Zordon was bad? Ew. It's like this is legit. Nimbar is Zordon with the ick.
I see the inspiration for Trakina's daddy.
Yes, 100%. But that is way better. 100% way better. 100% way better. That nigga got some hits. I tell you, Scorpius was doing a lot more damage than these niggas.
So at this point, Nimbar's explaining what he is. He's like, yeah, I'm the guardian of the portals, blah blah blah. I'm trying to keep them from.
Did you hear what he said though? He said he summoned them. I was like, but didn't the machine do it?
Yeah, that's what I was getting to next. Yeah, he said I'm keeping them from guardian. Listen, he's like, I summoned y'all here, and yeah, that's what they thought. They thought the machine did it. So
did the machine not do it or what?
So what I understand is we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going, right? Cause
okay.
So now,
whatever, sir.
So at this point, he's telling us he's trying to get a map of the power portals, of course, what Gargantus already got his hands on from the dude that he banished for 40,000 years.
Yep. He put that nigga in the dumpster with Rita.
And he's telling these guys that, hey, I brought you here to be the teenage tattoo, to be the Sentinels. Now, mind you, at this point, he's like, yeah, you guys, you're going to be Sentinels. I'm going to give you these powers. He's like, how you activate. Like, you see them tattoos on your arms. He's like, we ain't got no tattoos.
That was the nastiest sequence. He was like, oh, I forgot. Come here. And then all you saw was the creepiest shit. That nasty-ass, slimy-ass finger. Let me touch you.
Right, he's like, you're going to be alien fighters. He's like, I summoned you, and Drew and Sweating and them. They're like, you summoned us. So I thought we came here through the portal from the small machine. So yeah, they're all confused.
He said he chose them to be fighters, and I said because apparently the army training don't work. Like he said, the army won't work. So okay.
See, this is what happens when you ain't got no alpha.
Yeah, I mean he still got the tattoos he still got the teenagers with attitudes, obviously because they're getting tattoos.
Listen, when you touch the slimy goo and the tattoos, I'm like, nah, I'd have been out. Listen, I'm like, nope, open the portal back. I'm out.
That's all on them niggas. They should have said no. They was gung ho for them goddamn tattoos.
Yeah, I'd have been like, nope, open the portal Blob man, let me hop out of here because nope, this ain't not today.
This talking random Blob, y'all just agreed to you don't think that nigga might be the villain too? What if he go against his brother or some shit?
Right?
And he didn't tell y'all. I already don't feel good about the floating head Casper. Then I'm gonna enjoy the literal Ivan Ooze Blob. That nigga gonna be Ivan Ooze's brother too.
Nah, and Gordon had a point. He's like, listen, if you need some alien fighters, why don't you get your Sentinel people? And then Nimbar was like, I summoned you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the one thing about it. Nimbar is exactly this kind of attitude that Zordon was trying to portray all the time. Nimbar is like, fuck around and find out, little niggas. Y'all ain't going nowhere. Listen, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, Swinton was like, oh, wait, hold on there, Blob fella.
That ass. He said, y'all belong to me. Y'all got tattooed. Y'all my hoes now. I branded you bitches.
Yep. And here comes Drew. Yeah, we're teenage alien fighters. Like, and everybody was like, I ain't signed on for this.
Yeah, how this shit work? He said the tattoos only appear when needed.
Right. Yeah, Lori was like, Lori was like, yo, I think you made a mistake, bro. He's like,
shocking here.
Lori's like, just bust out the portal, bro. Bust out the portal, because
yeah, we trying to go. And he said, nah, bro, I need y'all to fight. I need y'all to fight that weird shit out in the corner in the desert and shit like that. You heard of Ninja Bot?
Yeah, it was crazy because I'm like, yo, Lori was like, we hit the portal because this ain't it.
Nope, y'all ain't going nowhere.
Oops. And then son was like, he's like, yeah, he was like, how do we do it? He's like, you use your tattoo, and they're looking like, what you talking about, bro? We ain't got no tattoos. And he said some gibberish, and then Swinton was like, I think he meant oops. And then he go there about oops. Weird. And then like I said, then now we got the slime. Then they get the slime tattoos, and then he start giving them their sentinel names.
Yep. And he said, in order to use the powers, you need to go into Transbot. You need to yell out your name. So a breakdown of it is: Gordon is Tauros, Swinton is Apollo, Drew is Centaur, and Lori is Scorpio.
Yeah. And I told you, once I saw this sequence, it all started coming back, and I'm like, oh, Lord.
The number one thing me and the Captain love yelling is Apollo.
Yo, that's what picked it up.
Every time we see Apollo Crews now, we yell
Apollo.
Shout outs to my son Apollo Swinton, man. This shit is funny.
Yo, and Swinton, yep. And so he had his little screen up, and that's like, yo, they're gonna ninja, y'all gonna fight. And Swinton like, you want us to fight that day?
Yup.
And they're like, yeah.
He said the Transbot will give you the powers y'all need.
So they was like, listen, we ain't got no skill. We not friends. We don't know how to fight. Swinton like, I don't even take PE.
I told you he a rich dude. He ain't do nothing. He ain't lift no finger.
Yeah, so he like, yo, listen, stay on these desks.
Yep, Transbot. He said individually, y'all are good. Y'all probably got some skills. Just remember, together y'all powerful. Trying to give them the old Zordon rhetoric.
Yep, Gordon still trying to get out of it. He's like, yo, can you get somebody else?
No, nigga.
And then Bob was like, no.
Bro, I ain't. Listen, y'all better beat Ninja Bot's ass, or I'm not opening this portal, so y'all just gonna be stuck with this blob.
Yeah, so at this point, they finally step on them pedestals, and they yell out their sentinel names.
Tauros, Centaur, Scorpio, Apollo.
Yep.
Yeah. And they got to work. They got sent out there in that desert, and it's trying to work.
Yeah, so they got now they got muscles. They in this BDSM gear.
Listen, I said this is the perfect representation of everything that they try to hide under their mask, their Power Rangers. It's obviously new people and dubbed over voices. That was horrible.
The mouths don't move.
No. This is the worst kind of mask you can use. The helmet is the perfect representation of not seeing their faces. This one, you literally see them.
I was like, what in the American Gladiators is going on here?
Yes, exactly that. Boy, they look like them fucking workout tapes.
Like, it's like somebody watched too much Mucha Lucha. I don't know what was happening.
Shit, reverse. This shit and that other show that I seen where they had 3 crime-fighting Mexican superheroes, stuff like that. All that shit probably came together to make Mucha Lucha what it is. Shit. They said, what if we just do that animated? And I think it'll work for the kids.
Right, so and off they get. Right, so at this point they go into fight Ninja Man.
Yep. Music start playing.
Yep.
Slow version of the intro theme, and they fight, and they. So we all assuming that they're gigantic here, right?
That's what I'm assuming at this point.
Cause I'm confused by size disparity and shit like that. But they fighting, and they pulling the most gymnastic shit I seen.
Yo, listen, as I was watching it, I'm just like, the music was hitting, but I was like, I'm just watching everything that's going on here, and I'm just like...
Listen, they called on their weapons, and their weapons don't make no fucking sense.
Not at all.
All their weapons that they supposed to strike with, they end up shooting laser beams out of the bitch, and you're like, what?
Yeah, the fight scenes were just hilarious. I was dying.
It's all moves and noise.
Yep.
Just like that. Mad wind noise.
That's literally what it was.
So they start scrapping. They got the weapons. They use the blaster from the weapons. They end up defeating the monster real quick.
Right, so Apollo had some kind of wrench. And Centaur had a staff, I think.
That shoot lasers.
Yeah.
Every one of their weapons shoot lasers. You like,
Scorpion, I think, had an axe.
Shoot lasers.
Yeah, I was all confused about their weapons.
All of them shoot lasers. And
yeah, they all shoot lasers. They literally beat him down with lasers.
All the moves that they supposed to swing at a motherfucker, they just end up shooting. They start spinning it, and then they shoot him. And you're like, what?
Yeah, so at this point, Garganus is mad, and he repowers up his monster.
Yeah, he revived him and he hopped right back up.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the confusing part that they made the disparity in Power Rangers, because once you defeat the monster, then they like make my monster grow. But since y'all already big, they just get up.
Regenerate, bitch.
And then the motherfucker just hop back up. There ain't no transformation, there ain't no revitalization, there ain't no animation out of that shit at all. He just get up.
Yep, and I'm like, they was like, what we gonna do now?
Yeah, so they come together, they show off they big Megazord power. They form together to show off like one guy in a night suit. Form the Natron.
Yo, that was crazy.
They put all they symbols together and shit like that, and they come out with this one man in a knight that got a sword and shield, and the sword shoot lasers too.
Yo, that had me dying.
Oh my god, they call the sword the Mega Caliber. Not the Excalibur, the Mega Caliber.
Right? They did a whole Captain Planet transformation to turn into this dude.
Yup. And then he destroys the monster. And his winning pose, as said by everybody online, his winning pose looked like a mega fort.
Yo, yes!
A mega fort in the background. Boom, boom, boom. That all look like farts. They look like gas in the back.
That CG, the CGI was like...
Oh my god, this shit was too funny. This shit was too funny.
Yeah, like I said, short shooting lasers too. I'm like, no, we're not gonna use it to slice.
No power sword that cuts.
Yeah.
No, the power sword that shoots. Not the power sword, the Mega Caliber. Not the Excalibur, the Mega.
Nigga, the Mega Caliber.
Yeah. Excalibur wasn't good enough for this nigga.
Nope, he's like, nah. What we not gonna do is this.
Yeah, not at all. So he handled his quick work out of Ninja Bot. Ninja Bot got crushed. So that's the end of Ninja Bot.
Yeah, and he's like, okay.
And that's it. That was the dumb point for they fight. So I guess they go back, and now everybody gung ho with the whole shit since they've been through the experience. Team like, all right, we excited. We fucking with this.
Right, and like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, they was ready. They can't wait to tell more people. And then like, hold up there.
Listen,
can't tell nobody about this blob they gave you powers.
Listen,
they're gonna look crazy.
The transformation for Nitron still cracks me up.
Oh yeah, 100%. When that shit together is mad funny.
Too funny.
Everybody just random hopping into the series. I swear.
Yeah, like I said, at the end, like everybody little chummy. I'm like, ooh. Okay.
Yep. Nimbar tell them the secret to up hell and shit like that. So they're the only ones right now that can stop, and there's more battles to come. And he will communicate with them through tattoos. And he said, when I communicate with you on tattoos, a portal will just open, which is gonna cause mad problems. You like, what the fuck you mean the portal will just open wherever we are? You not even going? How are we supposed to hold a secret in if you just gonna pop the portal in, my nigga?
Right? Like blink, 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 portal time, bitches.
Can't y'all communicate with me? Like, can I just say, hold on there's mad people here? Like, what you doing?
Nope, he's like, nah, I ain't got time for that portal time.
What if somebody else walked through the portal, my guy?
They gonna become Sentinels too.
You don't got a fifth spot. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to kill one of y'all and take them over. Like, what?
Listen, I'm about to make more pedestals.
Damn, son. Damn. Nigga said I need more Zodiacs.
Yep. Yeah, they gonna make Sagittarius in there. It's coming.
Well, there you go. So Devil communicated through the tattoos and stuff like that. Portal will open. So we go to Gorganis, and he pissed off, but then he ended up fixing Ninja Bot for another round, and you like, what?
Hey, at least he's not wasteful.
Listen, he not wasteful, and the studio not wasteful. They know they got about like 5 villains that they gotta stretch over fucking 40 episodes. So they said Ninja Bot will return. Like, this is a Marvel movie. like he ain't give no upgrades to Ninja Bot. He just bringing back Ninja Bot. I'm like, did he not lose? What you think gonna happen this time around, man? Ninja Bot didn't make no work.
He's like, I'm gonna make a more powerful, more sinister Ninja Bot.
That nigga look the same, and he do the same shit, bro.
Right. We like, yeah, okay, buddy.
All right, Garganus. Large anus.
Yeah.
Listen, sir. There's a large butthole. You gonna calm that shit down. You talking too loud for the shit that's coming out your mouth, giant anus.
Listen, every time I hear the theme song and they call him that, I'm like, yo, how you get disrespected in the theme song?
So next we see they go back to the team. The principal, aka Swinton's daddy, he happy to see that Swinton got some friends. And then he got somehow he got the news report. He said, "Yo, the photos that I showed you earlier, apparently they was fake." What?
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's like, what?
Who threw your man's off? Like, what? What you mean? They said they went to the desert. They don't even see no Ninja Bot no.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He said he happy for his son making friends. So he trying to take them all out to eat for dinner and shit like that. And then the tattoos start ringing already, and they was like, oh shit. All right, we gonna have to make up some fake stuff to do, and the dad getting called for his job, and then everybody getting the call. He's like, yo, we gonna make it up for you for another time because we gotta run the portal opening up and we gotta dip.
Right? It's like, yep, they bleep.
Nimbar aggressive with this shit. He don't ask nobody. He just said it's portal time. You best.
Yeah, that's it. He's like, you better get in for somebody else, dude.
Shit. If the dad show up, then I guess I either gotta give him power, so I'm gonna have to get rid of your father, Swin.
Yep, he's like, listen, bro.
Nimbar said, I ain't fucking around. I ain't got no alpha. It's just me in here by myself. Extra nasty.
He's like, listen, I ain't got no Alpha 5.
I work this machine all by myself.
I'm trying to figure out how he opening the portals.
Bebop boop boop with that nasty ass finger. But yeah, so Nimbar calls them, and then that's the end of the episode pretty much.
Yeah.
The end of the episode calling the name of the show, and the ending plays the theme.
Yep, like Nimbar probably called his pops too, like, oh shit, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, shit, pretty much. So, all right, there you go. What's your final impression on the first episode?
Right, and of course, they gotta say the full name at the end because ain't nobody else gonna remember otherwise.
No, they gonna make sure that shit's an earworm that'll attach itself to your head.
Right, and then we get the intro as the outro, and I'm like, let's go.
He said, "I'll reward you at the beginning of the show and at the end of the show. You gonna hear it again."
Tattoo teenage, alien fighters. Tattoo teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Yo, great stuff. So, what's your final impression of the first episode?
Oh, listen, this was comedy gold. Yo, I was laughing through the whole thing.
Absolute. This is absolutely the top tier on the worst Power Ranger representation they have ever had, and it is so bad.
That's exactly what it is. This is so bad. It's good.
It is not boring. It is not in the middle of shit. It is just a slew of what the fuck is this?
Nothing here makes sense in the best way possible.
Not even close. And it's funny because it's straight up like the first human character we get is a black guy. It's a black led show. Like when you look up the history and look up the shit around it, like the guy who plays Apollo, Reg Williams, he is the most important in the show. I mean, his father's a principal. We start on him. The focus is on him. He's the smart one doing all this shit. Like, he is the focus. This is a black led show.
It's crazy. I'm just watching. I'm like, yo. Like, oh, yo, he was on to something here. Okay.
Yeah. Shit was crazy. Shit was absolutely crazy. I said in my final impressions, I said this is the ultimate in cringe and all the ideas of Power Rangers without being Rangers. Enemy, friends, meet up, and all that. This is ideally the most silliest form of the genre, and that gets the basics are all right, but just a huge carbon copy and a tongue twister at that. But man, it is enjoyable. It is enjoyable for a horrible watch. Shit is
too funny.
Yeah, you want to kick off into episode 2, The Note?
Yeah, so of course, it starts off with the theme song.
Yeah, run that shit again.
Right, thank you.
Yep.
We gotta have some good in here, man.
Oh, fact, because we open straight back into Janus.
Right, so at this point, we get our Mars-like planet again.
Because we doing stock footage, y'all. We running it back.
Right. And we see Gargantus pacing because, he big mad about getting beat up. His monster getting beat up by the Sentinel.
Yep, he frustrated because he want to conquer.
Right. He's like, listen, I ain't got no time for all listening to these doggone Sentinels and them by his BS.
Yeah, he said they got me mucked up. Big mucked up.
So at this point, he brings up a new monster. He shoots the monster in the butt. Well, I don't know.
I mean, shit, he's on brand, baby.
Now, at this point, we're back at their school, and we see Drew and Jordan. Basically, Drew is like, talking about, like, we were kind of forced to be Sentinels, and this whole thing is kind of becoming a drag on my life.
I said Drew is pulling up. This is the second episode, and Drew is pulling up points that niggas haven't even addressed in like other shows.
Yeah.
Like Drew straight off the bat, yeah, we being forced into this shit, and I don't think this is right. I don't like nobody said this before.
Yeah, and Gordon is like, listen, what kind of team spirit is that, bro?
Gordon is the voice of the director. He said, "Keep it rocking."
Right. Drew's like, "You follow the rules, no questions asked."
Shit, just like
right. He's just giving him like the rundown. It's like yeah, you always think before you speak. You're on not right. He's like, yeah. Like I said, of course, like I said, Gargantus done called down his next monster, and then we get the little flash in. They summon, so
yeah, he summoned out his monster Noragula.
Right? Like, huh?
Yeah, he shouts the hurt. His shouting hurts ears pretty much. That's this monster and stuff like that. And in the meantime, with all that shit, Lori shows up on the rest of the crew, and they start talking and asking. Drew out here, she constantly asking the right questions about all the shit that's going on. But what took me in this scene was in the midst of them talking. Do you notice how loud the background is?
Yep.
Niggas is talking. They got background people talking dumb loud. That's almost over the characters. That like, what is with y'all boom mic?
Budget, bro. They ain't have one.
They obviously didn't because mad people is yelling in the background, and you're like, I could barely hear what they saying up here. Ain't nobody about to tell them extras to shut the fuck up.
Nope.
Sheesh.
They're like, we need all distractions.
Apparently. So yeah. So after we shift from there and Gargantus sends out his monster, we back at the cafe.
Yes, we are.
Yep. And Lori finds herself. She pretty much extra stressed because she found herself in a whole bunch of stuff. She captain of this. She doing this. She doing cheerleading. She doing this. She's smart and she energetic. She's in all kinds of clubs and shit like that. She wearing herself fucking thin, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
so
then she got to be a superhero and shit.
Yeah. So basically, she asked Quentin to give this book to Gordon, and Drew kind of hating, throwing a little shade there. Like,
yeah, big time.
Right.
And Drew at this time we could also talk about she works at the cafe.
Yeah.
And Drew and Gordon also have a conversation about conformity, just being down with the cause and shit.
Yep. Right. So after Lori gives her the book, she dips out.
Yep.
And then here comes Drew like, what's with you guys and Lori Foster?
Drew definitely side hating from the club.
Oh yeah. And then at this point Drew is plotting. She's like, I bet if I could copy Lori's handwriting, I could show Drew a thing or two.
Yep. She's trying to mess with Gordon.
Yeah, and then here goes Switzer, I can make that happen. He's like, yeah, all I do is scan it with my computer and we can do it. He's like, we probably should.
Yep. So Swinton be helping Drew write a note for Gordon in secret.
Right. He's like, it's like all them times that Gordon dissed you sure? It's like, you know what? And Swinton was like, you know what? I bet.
I swear, at this point, that's when I was like, they got Swinton doing a lot. They got Swinton delivering mail. They got Swinton making fake notes. They got Swinton, like, anytime they need something done, they call Swinton.
Yeah, for real. So at this point, we right back to school, and Drew is waiting for Swinton, and Swinton, hands her the note.
Yep. And they plot and they get ready to pass that over to Gordon to make it look like Lori sent it.
Yep, they setting up Gordon Lovely.
We see a clear indication of it as well.
Oh yeah,
so
right. And at this,
oh no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So I said, Nimbar, right in the midst of all this shit, Nimbar calls Lori and Gordon, and this nigga, inconsiderate to everything going on, nigga drops a portal in the middle of the hall.
I told you, homie, don't care. He's like, listen, the portal gonna come where the portal gonna come.
He said, listen here, little niggas, y'all go get in the portal.
He's like,
get in the portal, I don't care if you doing class, I'm opening up that bitch in the middle of class.
He's like, I told y'all how this gonna go. The thing is gonna flash, and the portal gonna open.
I don't ask no questions. Once you see beep, beep,
wherever you at, the portal gonna open.
Blow the whistle.
Right?
Blow the whistle. Nigga said, I don't got no compromises. Somebody going through this portal.
Mind you, Lori's tattoo is the only one that went off.
So there you go. He said, I only gotta call one of you bitches. Whoever's nearby.
And so they get there, and Nimbar was like, so before that, Drew Smith was like, yo, my tattoo ain't flashing. I guess he ain't need us.
Yeah, it was only Lori, but Gordon goes in with Lori because, I mean, he just wanted to see what's up. He knows he like that. So when they pull up to Nimbar said, all right, Gordon, nobody called for you.
Yo, that's exactly what he said. He was like, yo, he looked like Gordon, you weren't sorry. Why you here?
Nigga hit him with that Otis line. Nobody here for you, Gordon.
Right? Nobody here for you, Gordon. What you want?
Shit. He said, I want Lori to go to reconnaissance. I don't want nobody big fighting and shit like that. You making all this noise shit, and I don't trust you like that, Gordon.
Yo, he basically said, he's like, listen. He told Gordon, he's like, listen. He basically called him stupid. He was like, listen.
I told you, Nimbar is blunt Zordon. Nimbar is blunt Zordon. Everything that Zordon wanted to say to them niggas every time they tried to disrespect them is exactly what Nimbar said.
Because Nimbar was like, I ain't got no problem with you being here, but this is a reconnaissance mission, not a battle.
I said,
I was like, bro.
He said, nigga, you too loud.
Right? He's like, I need smart and stealth.
And you ain't none of them.
Right? He
said, you ain't none of them, big fella.
He was like, all right, this mission. He was like, I think there's a monster here, but there's some static and stuff going on, so I can't tell for sure if it's a false positive. I just need you to go find out and find out if the monster's there. If the monster is there, come back. Do not engage. I repeat, do not engage.
He said, if y'all out there and it's not the whole squad, you get your ass whooped.
He probably looked at Gordon and was like, do not engage.
If Nimbar had a face,
yeah.
This nigga's goof face would have ran straight up to say, do not engage, Gordon.
For real.
I called Lori for a reason, my nigga.
Right? It's like, I ain't called for you.
Shit, so they call off to their powers and they head off to the location, and within like 5 seconds they out there searching around, and they pretty much find out that the solar storms is blocking the things.
Right, and so they're looking around, they doing their check.
I said they playing spies with their big ass selves. It's so funny. Niggas thinking they stealthy, but they huge.
Right, exactly. So they see the monster, and of course Gordon attacks.
And the regular pulled up on them niggas and a fight break out. You already know what it is. Squad up. So
at this point, Nimbar was like, "Ah, shit. All right, let me call the other two."
Yep. In the midst of that, Switten's friend Dwayne shows up. Some white dude with glasses named Dwayne. Shows up and gives them stuff that they need for class, and then I was like, in a time of COVID passing by us, this looked like a horror scene. Nigga sneezed all over on Drew.
Yes, he did.
I was like, oh lord. So Drew and Swing get caught by Nimbar, and they trying to figure out how to maneuver and ditch Dwayne.
Yep, and so they want to put Dwayne inside, like, yeah, go watch, listen to some music, go do something, because the portal opened already, and they're like, oh shit.
Yep, they said, shit, we don't got time to explain none of this shit. So once they ditch off Dwayne, they heading through the portal, and then they realize, when they talk to Nimbar, straight off Nimbar, like, Gordon broke a rule, and now they in a situation.
Yeah, right.
Nimbar already throwing Gordon right under the bus.
Oh yeah, they're like, Gordon broke the rule. I told him not to go engage, and he want to be a dumbass and engage, and then,
yep.
All right, so now y'all got to go help him.
So he engaging in this ass whooping that he catching.
Yeah, so y'all need to go help him.
Yep. So they call on their powers and they go off to assist. So all four of them fighting in the sped up and slow motion. Like, it's so funny. Some shit's in sped up and some shit's in slow motion. It's mad random.
Right. It was like, and Garganus is mad. They got sentinel backup. It's like, nah.
And then they ran up on them, but they getting their ass handed to them.
Oh yeah, that monster is kind of, you know, he putting the work in.
Naragula is fighting in left brain, right brain situations. They gotta trick it to beat it.
Yep. And who comes up with that idea? Swinton.
I mean, when push comes to shove, you always gotta do something with Swinton because he the main character.
Yo, when they came back to the acknowledgement center, like even calling the command center so bad.
Said acknowledgement center, I'm dead. You think they got tribal chief location over there?
Oh man! And at this point, yo, I know them probably looked at Gordon like, you. He's like, I gave you one job.
Yeah, they went back to that center and he pressed them.
Yeah, he's like, I'm about to replace you with Swinton's friend.
Yeah. I mean, that nigga Dwayne was right by the portal. I can guarantee you, I can swap y'all out. And
right?
I believe since you know too much, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, snap.
Fuck around. You think this is Big Head Casper Zordon? Nah, nigga, this is Ivan Ooze, brother. I kill you. I don't need no survivors. He said I'm here to stop Gorganis. I'm not really like fucking with the saving the Earth shit. That's because you guys are staying here. I try to stop one day. If he goes to another planet, I'm going to another planet.
Right, I'm like, yo. So at this point, after they figured out the plan.
Yep, they back for round 2.
Right, and, you know they jump back on their pods,
and they
or their little disc.
Yep, they transpod,
right.
And then they transform, they head out, and then like instantly they go and pull out their weapons and they go shooting the monster.
Right, and, you know, they do their transformation thing, which cracks me up every time.
Form the Nitron, baby.
Yep. Listen, yo, Nitron is something else.
Yup. They have a fight off and they go blasting off until the monster goes boom. So in come the Mega Caliber and they shoot him with the laser and they call it a day. Like the thing about this show is that everything looks so stock footage that they show off every time they get their weapons. It's the same animation style. It's the same look. It's the same pull off. They turn into Nitron. It's the same look. It's the same blast and pull off. It's the same shit.
Listen, Nitron was shooting that mother, but he wanted to make sure he leave like a roast. Like he make sure he dead. Like.
I ain't swinging this bitch, so
right.
we don't got the camera crew and the budget for me to swing shit. So I'm just gonna shoot it until this nigga dead. This nigga blasts is opening up a can of Raid. At
this point, Garganus is getting tired of this. He's like, you know what? I'm growing weary of this. You know, he's like, I'm tired of these tattoo teenage alien motherfuckers from Beverly Hills.
Hell yeah! So at this point, this nigga need to fuse his first 2 monsters together. Show up with a ninja bot tarantula.
Right? Son just over it.
Shit, fuck these niggas and they pose fart.
Yeah, that pose at the end, man. Oh my goodness.
I went in pose fart. So yeah. So after that's finished, the crew comes back together and so at this point, what we didn't talk about earlier is Gordon finding the note and then him thinking that Lori is all obsessed with him and shit like that. So when they go back into the team, they talk about the note and then they all explaining that they just wanted to bring Gordon down to their level and just try to embarrass him for a joke pretty much because he was an asshole. So
yep. And it was funny is at the end, Drew looking for the note, and then we see Dwayne got the note. He out here blowing kisses to her.
Listen, that was a mess of itself. Let's talk about also Nimbal was annoyed that they was beefing with each other. He was like, I need y'all to be a fucking team. Stop playing fucking notes and shit on each other. Y'all irritate. And y'all don't want me irritated. I will start zapping y'all motherfuckers. I gave y'all these powers, and I can poison these powers too.
I'm about to take my goo tattoos back.
Yeah, facts. So they go back into that's when they back into the cafe, and then Drew out here doing all kinds of poetry and shit like that. She talking that Def Jam poetry and shit. I was like, oh, all right. And then, after she finishes, this is what I love about this team dynamic. They are a bunch of fake motherfuckers, and they will be straight up. They will both be fake and straight up with you at the same time. They violated the shit out of Drew's poem. They was like, yeah, that shit was trash.
Yeah, listen. That whole poetry thing was a hot mess.
That shit was a mess, and that's when what we was talking about from before with Dwayne finding that note, because they was looking around. They was like, where the fuck that note go? And they turned around around and you see Dwayne reading note and he blowing kisses to Drew. He was like, I know that's you, boo boo.
Yeah, he's like, I got your note. I'm like,
That's a fucking mess. That ends off the episode with the same vibes and the ending theme and everything. So what's your final impressions on episode 2 and the show in general?
As a Power Ranger show, it sucked.
Yeah.
But as a comedy, it rocked.
Yep, it is something so bad it's good tier. That's like it's the ultimate bad, but man, that's why their names is stuck around in the zeitgeist for whoever the fuck can remember it. And YouTube got all the episodes and it's wonderful. I said this final impression. I said so Drew is the main Drew is the main person asking the right questions, but she's like the one who speaks the truth and everyone in the show is just annoyed to hear her. She's ideally kind of the woke person that everybody's like, shut the fuck up. Everything else is practically the same. It's just the same shit rolling around. I said my recommendations as a show in general, I would say no, but like the comedy and shit like that, it is so bad it's good. So it's like if you need something that's messy and you need a laugh and just you need something that's terrible, especially because everybody likes to violate. The running joke about it is like Power Rangers so cheesy and it looks so cheap and shit like that. I'm like, that's not like this is the worst that it could get. Like you call Power Rangers cheap, nah, brother, there's worse. We could go lower.
This is like the car wreck you can't look away from.
100%. That's why I'm 23 episodes in. Like it's a fucking mess. This team is a mess. Nimbar is messy. The team talking to each other is the funniest dynamic because they're the worst group of friends ever. They are assholes. Each and every one of them. They're all trash. They're trash people, but they're rangers. But they're fake rangers. So yeah. But yeah, unless for a laugh, really, this is probably the lowest and low-key funniest of Ranger copies ever.
Oh yeah, this has to be bottom tier barrel. Yeah.
Big time. So real quick, I want to give a highlight shout outs because this is an episode we put out that we wanted to do during like Black History Month. So I had some writ up low key for probably the most famous member in all this shit, and that's the guy who plays Swint, aka Rug Williams. And so for the information on Rug Williams, I said who obviously seems to be the main focus, only black members and smartest guy, and truly the reason he's truly the reason for the show in a way. He is the character in this show with the most credentials going back as far as Rug Williams has played in Family Matters. He's been in Sister. He was in Walker, Texas Ranger. He was in A Different World, and he was in shows as recent as Millennials that was out a couple years ago on the all black streaming site. He's the father, and his sons is Oren and Zachary Isaiah Williams. Oren is known as he was the little kid on the movie Rebound and the Players Club, and he was in Millennials and ER. Zachary is known for being the little brother on Little Romeo. He was he was the little kid in Honey. He was in Ride or Die, and he was in Lincoln Heights.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we would like to give flowers to the black father and his two sons stepping into Hollywood and blazing a trail for Black Hollywood in the history books. So he is definitely the most famous person getting out of this damn show.
Yeah, listen.
Boy, I can't imagine his sons during this time. I would have a field day watching my father back in the day doing this shit.
Yo, the uniform alone, they were like, your dad.
Dad, so teenage.
Yo, can you imagine?
Listen, it would have been my ringtone. I would have just waited until my father turned around and looked pissed at me each and every time.
Yo, the jokes must have been flying.
What is it with them ball? What's popping?
Yo, I wonder what his wife doing when she's on this.
Listen, man, if there was ever a time where on the podcast we could get an interview, I would love to talk to Rug Williams about his experience to this shit. Cause man,
she'd be like, honey, wear the uniform.
Oh. No. In bed, baby. Yo, Apollo!
Oh, shit!
Come on, so you gotta come back with it for the devil. For when you hitting the strokes in maximum overdrive. You hit the Apollo!
Oh, man.
Form the nitron in that shit, bro.
Yo!
That shit good. That shit good. Shout out to Roy Williams, but goddamn, this was a hilarious mess.
Yes, it was.
Great stuff. So we closing the book on tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. Say that 5 times too fast. You gonna get mixed up and snatched up with all that shit. Yeah.
Definitely a good throwback. Memory lane. Oh my goodness, I remember watching this on channel. This was on channel 11.
Yeah, because it wasn't on Fox. I tell you that.
No, it wasn't.
Fox Kids. Definitely had to find that shit somewhere. I was definitely geek entertainment.
And that's a throwback itself.
The second I saw that shit, I was like, oh, DK had control on this? Oh God.
Listen, every time I watch the Sailor Moon, that's the first logo you saw.
I mean, I still remember that shit with the Tarzan show and stuff. But yeah, so for next review episode, we back at it again with a shot of Kurosaki, our anime review. And for this coming week, I had chosen. I don't know if it's still up on HBO Max. They had it for a while, but HBO Max always getting rid of shit. But currently, I think as far as I know, I think it's on Crunchyroll. But we doing episode 1 and 2 of anime that I always hold near and dear to my heart. It's called 91 Days. It's a revenge story. It's anime that's unlike anime as it is. It's like it's an Italian revenge story, just kind of in anime.
That's pretty interesting.
So it's fire. It's fire. So 91 Days is next up on the docket, and going forward on that, we got an email set up if y'all want to talk to us, chat with us at blerdbynature@gmail.com, Facebook and Instagram at Blerd By Nature, Twitter at Blerd By Nature. Nature is spelled Nature. Co-host, hit us YouTube.
You can find us on YouTube by searching for Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Yep, and you can catch us on all podcast platforms. We worked on the Amazon Music, so you can catch us on Amazon Music now and all their podcast exclusives and stuff like that. And anybody from the highest bidder that wants to buy Blerd By Nature Podcast on exclusive rights, we can talk about that in the email as well. But yeah, so we got everything coming out so far. We finally got back on our schedule of uploading, and as we speak and record right now, our current upload was the last time was Summertime Rendering. So we back at it again. Co-host, you got any last notes before I hit the outro?
Tattoo teenage
alien fighters. The
tattoo teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. That's all I had.
Hey. Listen, y'all, if y'all gonna get something stuck in your head, go on YouTube, listen to the opening. Shit is terrible, but the music is fire. Boom! Yep, so on that note, you want me to hit the outro?
Take us home.
All right. Thanks for joining us today from Black Thought to Nerd Power. This is Nicholas, Mr. Go With The Flow.
And this is the man with the plan, Maurice.
And this is another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Thank you for listening, everyone. And until next time, peace.
Apollo! We out.